Hey guys, we're here. Dire Knicks podcast. It's kind of like a shotgun emergency kind of podcast here. Mitchell Robinson's hurt again, guys. Just rip the scab off and just talk about it here. Mitchell Robinson's hurt again. Very frustrating. It's got to be frustrating for him. He's been trying to prove to us that he's not injury prone, but every year something happens to him. I believe maybe one year. If you want to count 60, 60 games. We'll talk about the years per year. The missing games per year. But I mean, this guy is hurt every freaking year, man. When it's time and we need him, he's been out of it as well, man. So we'll break all the stuff down, man. But it is frustrating, man. We're in the middle of a playoff run, and we lost Julius Randle already. We lost Bogey. Uh, you know, we lost Mitchell Robinson already for half the season. Then he finally comes back, and now we're going to lose him again for 6 to 8 weeks. They say, so they didn't really say if he's going to be out for 6 to 8 weeks. It just says reevaluate in 6 to 8 weeks. But I mean, it's a bummer. One thing about the Knicks, we do have depth. We have Jericho Sims to fall back on, and we do have Precious Achigua. So as soon as you mention Jericho Sims, people get pissed off, man. Shout out to I-95 Bully, who I do a pod with on Morning Brew on Wednesdays, usually Wednesdays, but this week we're going to do it on Thursday. But people get pissed off when you talk about certain guys, but they're on the roster. When a guy like Mitch Robinson goes down, who do you call? You have to call somebody. Somebody's got to play. Precious is going to get that call off the bench, and if we need, we're going to have to call on Jericho. So I don't understand why that pisses people off to bring those guys up in the conversation. But we'll talk about that as we go along with this thing, man. I'm not gonna drag this on, but let's just get into the report. It says Mitchell Robinson sustained a stress injury in his left ankle and it will be reevaluated in 6 to 8 weeks. So I mean, he did have surgery on if not both ankles or whatever he has surgery on. Whenever he gets hurt, I don't even care. He has surgery. He was out for a little while. It's just the same old song and dance, man. Like knee injuries, ankle injuries, groin injuries. There's always something going on with this guy. For somebody that doesn't really have a skill set. You would think like if he was like a dude that was in the post doing all kind of post moves and he was like an agile center where he was actually breaking down defenses and stuff like that, could give him the ball and he can score on the inside. He's just a dude that just wanders around the paint. He's the one that's supposed to be hurting other people. You know what I'm saying? Um, Gotten arguments with people about this guy that boxing out and doing the dirty work is not his job. I mean, then what is his job then? If his job is not to box out, be the dirty guy in there, throwing elbows, pushing guys around. If that's not his job, then what is? Because when he gets a dunk, everybody loves it. Those vicious dunks that he gets, people love that. The offensive rebounds, people keep talking about this dude in the offensive rebounding. I can just play so many videos of Mitchell Robinson standing underneath the circle, underneath the rim, just standing there waiting for an offensive rebound to come to him. When he goes up with the offensive rebound, if he doesn't get the dunk, he can't score in the inside. The dude cannot make a basic layup, man. If somebody's in front of him, he cannot make a basic layup, and it's not even like me exaggerating. It's a fact of life. So I feel like I have this conversation at least once a year. Definitely twice, maybe even three times a season. We have this conversation about Mitchell Robinson, but everybody always shoots me down. Everybody always talks shit, and I get people in the comments coming in there, coming for me and stuff like that. Because when they see Mitchell Robinson, they think they see Oakley. They think they see Patrick Ewing. They don't even see Herb Williams for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? This is not Tyson Chandler. This is not Marcus Camby. Mitchell Robinson. Even though he has a skill set that's functional in the NBA. You want to talk about blocking shots? We'll talk about his stats in a second. Rebounding wise, outside of offensive rebounding, he's not doing much else, man. You know what I'm saying? So, energy wise, people say he can guard all five positions. It's all a myth. I have yet to see him do that in such a way where he's like holding the team down in any way. So people are gonna get mad at me about it, man. But it is what it is. Ian Bagley comes in, chimes in on it, and he says it's a stress injury, right? And he says to his left ankle, like was reported, but he adds on to it that he won't need surgery and he will be rehabbing it. Test done late this afternoon. So anyway, he took his test today, and then he's just gonna go through various workouts and stuff like that, stretching and treatment and stuff like that, strengthening exercises, a lot of bands, probably, a lot of balancing stuff he's gonna do to get his ankle strong. That's what I need to do because I'm fat. You know what I'm saying? I haven't worked out in a long time, so I've been trying to work out, and I have stress injuries on my ankle right now because I'm out of shape. You know what I'm saying? So I know these guys play basketball, but that's what they do for a living, man. That's their profession. You know what I'm saying? I wear work boots for 12 hours a day, which you shouldn't do. 12, 14, 16 hours a day before I get home. I done had work boots for 16 hours, which you should not do. You know what I'm saying? But that's why my ankles are busted, from actually, working with work boots. You know what I'm saying? This guy plays basketball for a living. He doesn't play basketball for 16 hours a day. He might play basketball for 2, 3, 4 hours a day, maybe, working out and stuff like that. And then he has a lot of free time, so what is the issue with these injuries, man? It's something that has to do with with him personally, just the way that his body works and stuff. It happens. Guys get hurt sometimes, and it is what it is, man. But we can't ignore it anymore. We just can't. So I'm just gonna go down here. I'm trying to figure out. I'm looking at the game, trying to figure out what exactly caused this injury, particularly. I didn't think it was his ankle at first. 'Cause I think it was like his groin or something like that. So I was combing through all these little videos here, see what I could find. So I found this video here of Miles McBride putting up some shots. So I'll play this video here to see if we can catch the. As you can see, just keep an eye on Mitchell Robinson. He's underneath the basket. It look like he's limping already. Limping already. Can't really fight. See him limping it. He hopped, stepped a little bit, ran up the court. Here goes another shot. Watch Mitchell Robinson go down there. It looked like the way he stopped just now. And then he gets by from behind, falls straight to the ground. So my opinion on Mitchell Robinson is his ankle is still weak. He's still trying to get himself together. Other muscles are compensating and stuff like that. And I believe he might have sustained a groin injury because he was grabbing his groin, not his balls per se. He was grabbing the side on I'm gonna say maybe like the right hand side. It could have been the left hand side of his groin. So I think he might have strained his groin. So I mean, I know for experience, because like I said, right now I'm going through a stress reaction injury to my ankles right now, my ankles and my feet. And I'm feeling all kind of imbalances and stuff like that. Me going up and down steps, walking up the terrain that I have to work along, to do my job. That's been a chore and stuff like that, having to do that. So that at the end of the day, I just got out the tub just now, soaking for God knows how long, trying to get my mobility back, trying to get my peace back today. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, Mitchell Robinson has all day to get all this professional treatment and stuff. So it's not like he has to go on his own and find a doctor and get treatment and spend his own money. No, he's being evaluated by NBA professionals and stuff like that, man. So I mean, these injuries, man, they keep piling up on him, and it's just like I know it's not fair for me to get at him like this, man. But after a while, you just have to start talking about it, man. So let's look at his career, man. His first year in his career. Let's keep it a buck too. We're talking about one, two, three, four, five, 6 seasons in the NBA now. So this is enough time. He's not a kid anymore. He's 25 years old. According to this man, but he's been in the NBA for 6 years. He's an NBA veteran. He's not a kid anymore. That kid stuff, developing and all this other stuff is out the window. Is he in his prime? Maybe not. Maybe his prime is at 27, 28. So he's still got 2 more years to get into his prime. If you want to keep saying that, like when is he going to reach that thing? Because my thing, I could point out to all these seasons and stuff, but the only thing that I see is his numbers going down. 69% from the field, 74% when he led the league. 65 went up to 76 again, 67, and then this year was 57% from the field. You know what I'm saying? So as far as minutes, the minutes has been about the same. 27 is his high. He had 27 the year before. He had two on 27 4 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I just don't know what to say here. Like the rebounding, as you can see like here, we're talking about this season here with 8.5. The year before that, 9.4, 8.6, 8 rebounds, 7 rebounds, 6 rebounds. Yes, he's been averaging 24 minutes per game. But if this guy's only job is to rebound, why isn't he getting double figure rebounding? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we trust him to play more than 25 minutes? He's only playing half a game. Why can't we trust him to play 36 minutes per game, 22 minutes per game, that type of thing? If we could extend it to 36 minutes, the numbers start to look a little bit more, yeah, I guess like professional, because you can see a lot of double figure. Every season would be double figures if you project his minutes to 20 to excuse me to 36. But he basically is going to file out. Especially early in his career, he would have filed out. Recently, I see 2.6 fouls per game per 36 minutes. So he's doing a good job of staying on the floor. As far as blocking shots per 36 minutes, you got 1.6, 2.5 the year before, 2.6 the year before, three, in his sophomore season, 4.3 in his rookie season. His rookie season was his best year as far as block shots is concerned and stuff like that. But this is per 36 minutes, you know. But the reason why you can't play him per 36 minutes because the guy can't shoot. The guy can't contribute anything else. Look at the assists per 36 minutes. Last year, he averaged point 0.8 per 36 minutes. So he's not contributing to the game passing at all. You know what I'm saying? So once he's out there, he's just a black hole. He's not contributing to the offense. He just kind of just there taking up space. You know, and as far as his free throws is concerned, he only attempts three. You know, for somebody that's so big, taking up that much space, and for somebody that keeps talking about the field goal percentage of him, he only attempts 6 shots per game. You know, the most he ever attempted was 8. But the free throw percentage, like I said, for his career, 51%. Last year, he shot 40% from the free throw. So how in the hell is he getting worse at shooting free throws? The first season, he shot 60%, then 56, 49, 48, 48, and then 40 this past season. He shoots 40%, fam. You know, somebody that's been in the NBA for 6 years now. You know, so what is the excuse for all these flaws that he hasn't gotten better? So that was per 36, you know. So bring it back down to his regular stats. Because like I said, you cannot trust this guy to play any more minutes than he's been playing. So now you're only talking about 2 free throws per game. You know, now you're only talking about 4 field goals per game, you know, attempted. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this is not me really here to bash Mitchell Robinson, but I'm just pointing out what's exactly happening in front of him. His jump shot, he doesn't have a jump shot. You know, watching him shoot free throws, it's like he actually has a coach that works with him, and they never fixed his shooting form. You know, the guy shoots, he hits the ball in his hand, and he shoots across his face. He shoots across his face still. You know, it looks ridiculous. Like during these summer workouts and stuff, you see him dribbling in between his legs and doing all these moves and stuff like that you would never see him do in games. You know, shooting threes. You know, he could shoot threes better than he could shoot free throws. You know, so what is happening here with this guy? You know, what is happening here with this guy? So anyway, back to his injuries and stuff. His first year, he had 66 games, which isn't so bad. So he basically played the majority of the year. Fizdale year, not really a good test for who was around him and just the team. The team was terrible. You got guys like Dennis Smith Jr., Damian Dotson, who just turned 30 for Christ's sake. You know, Emmanuel Mudiay, you got Wesley Matthews played 2 games. DeAndre Jordan, Ennis Cantor was on the team. Noah Vonleh. So it was a bunch of bums on this team. You know, Tim Hardaway Jr. was our best player for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really that much to talk about here in his rookie season. He had a lot of promise, but that same promise that people were talking about his rookie season, we're still waiting for that to come to fruition 6 years later. Take a look at the next season. Still a losing season. Who was the coach? Fizdale and Mike Miller. You know, so it was another losing season. Just taking a look at some of his teammates for the second year. Julius Randle, this is the year when we got all those power forwards. Julius Randle, Marcus Morris, RJ Barrett is on the roster now. Elfrid Payton, you got Maurice Harkless. So you have some guys that he can learn from in the second year. So you can't say that he never learned from good players. Bobby Portis is on his team. So you got guys like Bobby Portis, you got guys like Reggie Bullock. Like I said, Maurice Harkless was on the team. You got Marcus Morris and you got Julius Randle. So you got guys that Mitchell Robinson could have learned from. So you can't say that he didn't have OGs to learn from because he got them in his second year. In his second year, if you take a look at the games played, 61. So he missed a couple games. 61. You know, you give a guy 61. Miss 20 games. Okay, he's a young guy trying to get himself together. Okay, I get it, right? So this it's not hold that against him, right? So then we get into the third year now when the Knicks are trying to make the playoffs, right? So we get in here. Tom Thibodeau's the coach, and we finally make the playoffs. So now we're a good team now. We won 41 games, 41 and 31 was our record. So we actually are trying to win. It's lockout season, whatever you want to say. If you want to use that as another excuse, people use that as excuses, right? Julius Randle became an all-star. RJ Barrett was averaging 17. Reggie Bullock is still on the team as a good veteran. Derrick Rose, you got Alec Burks, Nerlens Noel, Elfrid Payton. So I mean, Emmanuel Quickly was on the come up, Obi Toppin, all these guys were on the roster. But Mitchell Robinson as a starter only played 31 games. But like I said, we made the playoffs. So here goes a guy that only played 60 something games before. Now, when we make the playoffs, he only plays 31 games again. So who was our starting center? Who was the guy taking up the bulk of the minutes at center? Look further down to this guy named Nerlens Noel. He was 26 at the time, only played 64 games himself. But Nerlens Noel put everything on the line that year, playing hurt a lot. You know what I'm saying? Blocking shots, 2.2 blocks per 24 minutes, as compared to Mitchell Robinson, per the 24-minute mark they was average for his career. He barely gets a 1.5 blocks. So this particular season, he did get the 1.5. So this is what he brings. But Nerlens Noel played the same minutes, ended up with 2.2. If you want to talk about the rebounds, of course, Nerlens Noel, is definitely smaller. He's not going to rebound as well as Mitchell Robinson did, but still only had two less rebounds than Mitchell Robinson in the same minutes. But like I said, you have to credit Nerlens Noel for saving the season by him putting those minutes at center. It wasn't Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson wasn't the one that got us to the playoffs that year. So I know everybody was complaining, when the playoffs start, that Mitchell Robinson was going to come in and he was going to save us and all this other stuff. So I mean, he didn't really get a chance to do that. We ended up getting beat by Atlanta. Like everyone said at the time, if Mitchell Robinson showed up a little earlier, if he got healthier a little sooner, maybe we would have had a better chance to play against Atlanta. Hindsight is 2020. Looking forward, man, that was a piece of shit that we even thought that. Let's take a look at the next season now. So the next season we ended up missing the playoffs, right? Did we miss the playoffs this year? Yes, we did. We ended up having 37 wins and we missed the playoffs. So us missing the playoffs, guess what happens with Mitchell Robinson's minutes? All of a sudden, he plays the most minutes, plays the most games, I should say, of his NBA career with 72. So he plays 72, still with the same 25 minutes, and we missed the playoffs. Is there a pattern there? You know what I'm saying? We missed the playoffs, with Mitchell Robinson actually playing most of the minutes at center. So we had RJ Barrett with 20 points per game, Julius with 20. A lot of different things went wrong that year, but everybody was healthy for the most part. I guess you want to blame Kemba Walker, maybe you want to blame Evan Fournier signing and stuff like that. So you want to blame those guys. You want to blame Tom Thibodeau playing Alec Burke at point guard when we didn't really have another option, because we ended up getting Kemba Walker kind of screwed up the whole season. So you could blame a lot of people there, but nobody wants to blame Mitchell Robinson because Mitchell Robinson can't be blamed, right? So anyway, let's get into the next season where we finally come back to the playoffs, right? Next season, 47 wins in Eastern Conference, which is really good, especially after missing the playoffs. Let's take a look at what Mitchell Robinson did this year. Let's go to Mitchell Robinson. He ended up playing 59 games. So back to being the injury stuff again. So, but he only played 59 nine games. Who saved us that year? Guys like what's his name? Jericho Sims. He played 52 games, 15 minutes, per game there. But he ended up starting 16 games where Mitchell Robinson could not, due to injury and stuff like that. So Jericho Sims held us down for a big portion of that year to help us get to those playoffs there, man, because we were kind of struggling. You got Jalen Brunson there, finally came through with the to bring in 24 points per game. Julius Randle with 25, learning how to play. RJ Barrett, a lot of ups and downs with this club here, man. But you got to give props to these guys, that held it down for Mitch Robinson when he was hurt. I think Mitch Robinson, he played well against the Cavs. We all know that, but then he got schooled against Miami. So people say, oh yeah, but he played well against the Cavs, you hater. Yeah, but the reason why we lost against Miami, it was due to injuries to Julius Randle, of course. Also guys like Emmanuel Quickly, Quentin Grimes, these guys didn't show up. But Mitchell Robinson also didn't show up in that second round against Miami. You know what I'm saying? He actually got schooled by Bam Adebayo. This is the reason why we brought Hartenstein in. So Hartenstein didn't really get as much minutes because Mitchell Robinson is still the guy. You know what I'm saying? So now fast forward to this season. The success that we're having this season is especially at center is not due to Mitchell Robinson. Mitchell Robinson started the year for us at center, but Hartenstein is the one that came through and saved the season. And now Hartenstein is at the point now where Hartenstein is invaluable for us now. That like we cannot replace what Hartenstein brings to the table. So Hartenstein is going to be due for a big pay raise. So if we're going to pay Hartenstein, what are we going to do with Mitchell Robinson if we cannot rely on this guy to stay healthy? Number one. Number two, we cannot rely on this guy to get better year in and year out. The one year we had hurt himself, he ended up gaining weight. I think he had a foot injury, same kind of foot injury, and he ended up gaining weight that year when he should have been thinking about keeping his weight down that way to prevent the stress reactions on his feet and stuff like that. He was more concerned with putting on weight, putting on muscle and stuff like that. The next offseason, he was talking about being the fastest player out there when we don't really need the center to be fast. We just need him to play to get rebounds and be tough out there, be the enforcer that we need out there. Shout out to the Philadelphia series. We needed an enforcer. We didn't need somebody to be soft out there. Shout out to Hartenstein, shout out to these guys. But Mitchell Robinson is the guy that's supposed to be nasty. He's the one supposed to step in and protect Brunson, protect DiVincenzo, protect OG. He's the one that's supposed to protect all his guys. That should be his job. But people get mad at me again, about saying that Mitchell Robinson shouldn't be asked to do that. DiVincenzo is the one. So I mean, look, guys half his size are the ones that are stepping up to 7 footers. This guy Embiid was pushing around our guy, straight pushing him, pushing him. Mitchell Robinson was standing with his hands on his hips. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Mitch. He did push Oubre to the ground, if you want to say that in the next game. But that's not his game. He just doesn't have that in his personality. So, like I said, I'm not here to bash the dude. But he is hurt all the time. So him being hurt and being hurt means that you're not available. If you're not available, then you're no use to us if you cannot be available. Guys get hurt all the time. You mean to tell me that Josh is not hurt, that DiVincenzo, that Brunson, all these guys are not hurt? As much as they get slammed to the ground night in and night out, these guys don't have any bumps and bruises or injuries that they would normally take care of, like if they weren't in the middle of this playoff race here. You take care of all this stuff in the offseason, man. So Mitchell Robinson just doesn't have that body. He's just one of those guys that always gets hurt. But as I go through every year, there's a method to this. I'm going through all these seasons just to show you that there's so many different players that we had. There's so many guys that were not on this roster 6 years ago. That are that now we're a perennial playoff team right now. You know what I'm saying? So, but 6 years ago, it was a totally different roster surrounding Mitchell Robinson. You know what I'm saying? So the point I'm saying here is that it's to the point now where we're gonna have to start looking elsewhere. At least in my opinion, as the years go on, because Mitch Robinson is basically done. 6 to 8 weeks to be reevaluated. The playoffs could be over in 6 to 8 weeks. You know what I'm saying? 6 to 8 weeks right now is May. So in about 8 weeks, you're talking about 2 months from now. So May, June, July, the season's over in 8 weeks, right? Am I not mistaken? In 6 weeks, we could be in the NBA Finals, and Mitch Robinson still could be on the sideline. You know what I'm saying? So, what do we? This is like, I don't want to talk about next year. Shout out to Uncle Fulio on Nothing But Knicks. We hashed it out in our group chats and stuff. Shout out to a couple other people too that we was talking about off season stuff. So I don't want to talk about off season stuff. I want to talk about now how we can help this team today. But now here we are, our backup center that we really needed him, to bring that enforcer mentality, that toughness, the double combination of him and Hartenstein together is a really good combination, man. So we needed him to be a part of that. So now he's not a part of that anymore. So how come I'm not getting on Bogey? Let's talk about that. I'm not getting on Bogey because Bogey had broke his wrist and he still was playing with a broken wrist, man. So I mean, even he had the broken wrist, he still would have played, but he ended up breaking his ankle because I think it was Embiid jumped on his foot and broke his fucking ankle. So he not only did he have surgery on his wrist, he also had surgery on his ankle. So that's why Bogey's out of here. Bogey got injured. He got basically attacked by Philadelphia's dirty play. Casualty of war. Mitchell Robinson is just getting hurt jumping and landing. Just fighting for the rebound, diving on the floor. All of a sudden, he's grabbing his balls. Oh my, I hurt myself again. He turned his ankle just walking up the court. So after 6 years, man, when does it end? Are we going to keep giving this guy chances year after year? And he himself is not getting better. His free throws are atrocious. They're getting worse and worse every year. He cannot make layups, guys. People keep saying, "Oh yeah, what do you mean he can't make layups? He shoots 70-something% from the field." He shot 77% from the field 5 years ago. This year he shot 50-something%. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, what are we talking about here? He doesn't have a hook shot. He doesn't have that shot that Hartenstein has. He doesn't have anything like that on the inside. Only the dunk. So where can we look at, man? So let's do this quick. Who can we look at as far as free agency? So I already looked already. So shout out to Hoops Hype here. I'm looking at Hoops Hype free agents. This is one person that's going to piss off a lot of people only because he plays for the Brooklyn Nets, and that's Nicholas Claxton. So Claxton, I'm not going to get into his career because he came into the NBA about the same time Mitchell Robinson did. The difference between Mitchell Robinson and Nicholas Claxton is that Claxton has gotten better. Claxton actually led the league in field goal percentages. Mitchell Robinson did that in his second year, and Nicholas Claxton, he did that if not this past season, he did it the season before. You know what I'm saying? So Claxton actually got better as time goes on. Watching him play, I know they didn't play well last year, but watching him play with better players and stuff like that, he actually was an asset to the Brooklyn Nets. You know what I'm saying? As their starting center. So if you want to talk about what he brings to the table, 1.9 assists. That's one thing right there. Like I said, Mitchell Robinson in 36 minutes per game barely can get one assist per game. This guy is giving you a point on 1.9 here in the minutes that he gets. You know what I'm saying? 10 rebounds off the rip, 12 points per game off the rip also. So this is not just that he's getting more attempts and they're utilizing him in such a way or they're force feeding him the ball. No, that's not how it works there. They're kind of ignoring Nicholas Claxton. But Nicholas Claxton could score off a contact. He can make layups, he can drive, he can get into the basket. He has like little go-to moves that he can go to. So it's not just alley-oop plays and pick and roll alley-oop plays every day for Nicholas Claxton. That's not how to utilize him. He actually is a threat around the basket just in general. You know what I'm saying? So that's why he's a valuable player. So if there was an option where we could bring a guy like Nicholas Claxton to the Knicks, you want to talk about a guy that's not afraid to talk, not afraid to mix it up with other players. This is the dude that will do that. So I would rather have Nicholas Claxton on the Knicks next year than Mitchell Robinson if I had to make a choice. Look at Jonas Valanciunas. You want to talk about Hartenstein brings the defense, bring the passing and stuff like that. Valanciunas can bring that post up play, possible some 3-point shooting a little bit off the bench here. As like a hammer. Kind of player, a guy that can come off the bench and give you some post scoring. You know what I'm saying, to add to the toughness of the team. Valanciunas will fight you. You know what I'm saying? He's strong as hell too. So he'll bring a different balance to the team, something different than what Hartenstein will bring. So I wouldn't mind getting Valanciunas on the team, even though he's older. He definitely won't be making $15 million a year. He's definitely gonna get a little bit less, as his age is getting up there. But 13 points per game, 9 rebounds, 2.3 assists. 34% from the 3-point range. This guy can still shoot the three and stuff. So I would rather I would rather take a look, I should say, at Jonas Valanciunas. Keep scrolling. Hartenstein. Right now he's making 9 million. He's gonna get what Mitchell Robinson got, 15 million per year, 12 to 15 per year. That's what Hartenstein is gonna get next year, and he should get it. And he should be our starting center going forward. Keep scrolling here. Kelly Olynyk, we talked about him via trade, would have been nice. $12 million per year is about what he should be making. He's a little bit soft, a little bit, but he could play dirty. So if we needed him to be that guy, to be that dirty guy off the bench, he would do that for us. The thing with him is that he shoots the three, and he's a good passer with 4 assists per game. That brings us a different dynamic coming off the bench. If you want to talk about a guy like Hartenstein, that's more of an inside defensive kind of guy. Kelly Olynyk, he'll be able to shoot that three and pass the ball on the finesse tip coming off the bench. Mortis Wagner is a guy that I don't think Orlando would let him go because his brother's also on the team too, and this guy's pretty good. But if you want to talk about an up and coming center, Mortis Wagner is the one right here. If you want to invest in somebody that could be better down the line, Mortis Wagner would be dope to get to replace Mitchell Robinson. If you're talking about upside player, Andre Drummond is who he is, stupid ass player, but he can get stats. Dario Sarkic is not the same guy anymore. He's kind of up and down. He's probably going to go back to Europe, I think. He's getting up there in age now, but he's still a good player. Jalen Smith is a guy. He'll find a spot somewhere. But not my kind of guy. But he has a little bit of talent, but he's not my type of player. Precious is another guy. They listed him as center here. Precious, we're gonna have to pay him too. Precious is being disregarded. Now all of a sudden with Mitchell Robinson out, this guy has got to be our backup center now. For Tom Thibodeau disregarding this guy, not playing him the game before and not playing him some other games, now he's got to play heavy minutes coming off the bench now every single time. You know what I'm saying? Because Mitchell Robinson's not going to be the one playing. So Precious has to get the minutes now. So now we got to hold on to Precious to hopefully Precious don't get hurt. And then because we definitely don't really want to play Jericho Sims minutes at all. But now with Mitchell Robinson now, we're going to have to because Bogey's out and we're missing so many guys. So it's going to be interesting to see what we do going forward. Here's another guy, Goga Batazde. I can never get his name correct here, but I like him a lot. He's if we were talking about a guy that's willing to do dirty work and hurt guys and get the team hyped up as far as his energy and stuff like that. That's what he brings to the table, man, with Orlando. So I think we will be blessed if we were able to get him on the cheap. He makes $2 million now. I could see him getting a $3 or $5 million per year in the offseason. So he's a guy that we could possibly take a look at also. One more person I'll take a look at. Daniel Thies is interesting. I think he's a power forward though, because they got him listed at 6'8". He's more of a power forward. I don't know why they list him in that. But here's another guy. He's getting up there in the age too. But Mason Plumlee. You want to talk about the guy that's athletic, that can run up the floor, that could be a part of that fast break defense kind of play that we have with the Knicks. He also passes the ball really well. It says 1.3 assists here, but he does pass the ball well. He rebounds the ball well. He can score on the inside as far as layups and cutting to the basket and that type of thing. Defense is not really known for blocking shots, but he can. But I think his playmaking ability and his ability to fly up and down the court, his athleticism will be something that can help us out. Diving on the floor, as you can see, the dirty work. Mason Plumlee will do the dirty work. So I think he'll do that, and he'll do that without getting hurt like Mitchell Robinson does, man. So anyway, this is just something to think about as going forward, because Mitchell Robinson, I think is done for the year. Like I said, 6 to 8 weeks is crazy. 6 to 8 weeks, guys, means July. 8 weeks is July. 6 weeks, because we could be in the NBA Finals if we're even there. So Mitchell Robinson is out of here, man. So it's unfortunate. I don't Like I said, I don't want it to be about bashing this dude, but we're talking about a dude that we need him to do dirty work. We need him to rebound. We need him to play hardcore defense on the inside. We need him to protect our guys. Has he done any of that? People only talk about his offensive rebounding, that he kind of hunts. He's just underneath the rim, waiting for the offensive rebound, jumping up to get the offensive rebound. If he can't do that, he's ineffective. In the last game, he only had 2 rebounds, yo. He only had 2 rebounds. I don't care how many minutes he had. He only had 2 rebounds. And it was bullshit plays, because you could see that he was clearly hurt. You know what I'm saying? So listen, maybe this guy could find success at another club. You want to talk about Quentin Grimes? He's in Detroit now. Let him, God bless him. We got the guy that we have now to replace Quentin Grimes. You know what I'm saying? IQ. I hope he goes on to be an all-star point guard for Toronto. In the meantime, we got our guys, so it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? RJ Barrett. He was the future, right? How dare you trade RJ, trade the kids and all this other stuff? But he's in Toronto also. But we got the guys that we have, and we're in a position right now where we could possibly go to the NBA Finals this year. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all that to say that Mitchell Robinson could be chucked also. We don't have to disregard him. We don't have to disrespect them. We could trade him to a team that can use him, but as long as we get something back that we can use, and then we can replace him in a different way that's going to help the team better, help what we're doing. We need to double down on this bully ball. Everyone keeps saying bully ball, bully ball, bully ball, but we don't want to bring players in here to double down on that bully ball. So I feel like we need to do that. We need to continue to bring guys in here to double down on the bully ball. As you can see with Philadelphia, everybody all of a sudden, we need some goons. We need some goons. Yeah, this guy's not it. He's not a goon. So we need to upgrade the position and get a goon here, and not just maybe one goon. We need to get maybe a couple goons just to have it in the stable. Just in case we need some. We can call on guys that are not afraid to get dirty and hurt people and protect their players. Brunson and these guys need help. They need protection. So anyway, that's my last bit about that, man. So I'll skim really quick through the chat. So I'm quite sure other people have made their comments about Mitchell Robinson. This is my take on it. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports, always hanging out with me here. Definitely appreciate you, man. Mike K is one of my big time supporters here. Good to see him on YouTube here. So he says feel better, Mitchell Robinson. He's very limited offensively. Several issues, really, man. Yeah, we're saying the same thing. We talk. Me and Mike talk about this guy on Twitter all the time. Uh, so I mean, Mike is also a doctor too. So let me just point that out. Mike K here, as you see on the screen, he's actually a doctor, so he can speak medically of what's going on with this guy. So maybe an effect from stress, work on his ankle might explain and seeing why he's limping around all the time. Yeah, but it's not just his ankles though. I'm noticing growing injury. I'm not quite sure you heard me mention that a couple times, Mike. I don't know what you think about that. But shout out to oh, he said he played in about 70% of the Knicks games since being drafted. Got David L said, good for Precious, minutes better for us. Well, minutes is going to be good for Precious against Indiana. But if we make it to the next round, let's say if it's Cleveland or if it's Boston, it's more than likely going to be Boston. we're definitely going to need Mitchell Robinson's strength on the inside to help us out. We just need the extra muscle, to kind of bully the Celtics. By not having Mitchell Robinson, then we don't have that extra guy that we hope could bring some physicality out there to the game. So I mean, it's kind of unfortunate, but it bugs me out, man. But look at that, a point 0.8 assists for 36 minutes. I know I mentioned that. Shit is crazy. Shout out to Amani the Great here. He says, Die blessing, no doubt, man, from Minneapolis. Shout out to Minneapolis. We might see a Minneapolis in the finals, man. These Timberwolves look like they might make it to the finals the way they're playing. And just judging by what's happening here, the Knicks might actually meet Minneapolis in the finals. So I actually Googled that. Google flights there, man. So if it looks like the Knicks have a chance to go to Minneapolis, I think I might buy some tickets, bro. So well, that's for another day, man. That's in June. But we'll see. Shout out to Hamilton Salazar. He says, package him and mention a trade. We'll see what happens, man. Like I said, I don't want to unpack these trade rumors and stuff like that yet because it's just so early, man. Because I'm having so much fun. I got a watch along that I'm going to tomorrow with the Morning Brew Sports. So I don't have it queued up here, man. But we're gonna be in Washington Heights at a bar. Can't think of the name of it, man. But if you follow Morning Brew Sports, which I'm quite sure most of you do, you'll find out all the information, and I'll be there. So if you guys want to hang out, catch me there at the bar. We can kick it and watch the game together, man. Shout out to Still Knicks, man. He says, what's good? Just saying what up. Kevin Barker, he says, Sims is no better than Robinson. Neither one has a post move, and their free throws are bad. We need to look at the draft. Yeah, I agree with that. But the thing about Sims though is that sometimes Sims gets the ball and then he can all of a sudden can score. You know what I'm saying? All of a sudden he doesn't move and he's scoring on the opposite side of the rim, or he's coming in and makes a little hook shot, or he just cuts to the basket and he's able to do something. Sometimes Jericho Sims can do that, but oftentimes Jericho Sims is a step slow on the play and he kind of like loses himself a little bit, man. So he's just not the smartest basketball player. But it's weird because he's been coached really well. If you go through Jericho Sims' career, he's been coached really well in high school, really well in college, but for some reason he just can't put it together in the pros, man. So it's just weird, man. So like we have a couple guys that are just weird and we probably need to just step away from going forward. So Olenek, he said, resigned with the Raptors for 2 more years. So I didn't really see that too much. Let me see. Where's Olenek at? I think Olenek is the next guy. I believe this. What is the situation here with him? Uh, Extension ability, whatever. So I guess they might have signed him because I don't really know. Usually they say what his situation is there. But it is what it is. He says, what about the other center from Chicago? So you're talking about some of the other younger guys on Chicago. I don't know. I think Chicago should blow that team up. So if it should happen, and we can pick up one of those young guys for Chicago, that'll be fine. So I don't know if you're talking about forgot money's name, the European dude, but some of the younger guys, at center, that would be really nice to pick them up. FLS here, shout out to him. He says, Ero, I think Mitch will have to be traded due to him being under contract, right? Yeah, absolutely. He's probably gonna have to be traded. So I mean, people already are saying that Julius Randle should be out of here. I've heard that so many times today. I just kind of just kept my mouth shut because I don't want to get in arguments about basketball at work. But I mean, if anything, if the Knicks decide to running it back with a healthy Julius Randle with this squad, and maybe if we can run it back with Bogey too, on a cheaper contract, maybe. Matter of fact, I think Bogey's still under contract for one more season. So if we brought both of those guys back, in the rotation healthy, we're better. This is what the doctor ordered. We need a guy like Bogey off the bench, and we need a bully guy like Julius Randle to play, next to OG. Which looked really well in January for guys that remember that. And Josh Hart coming off the bench, behind those guys is fantastic. So I definitely would love to see that for a full season. I don't know if we'll be able. I don't know if we're gonna go that route because there's so many other different rumors happening out there. Let me keep going down here. Yeah, so he did see that notice. You did notice the Goring injury. It's interesting, man. Hamilton Salazar, he's congratulating on good content. I appreciate you, man. Definitely thank you guys for tuning in and stuff. But also, yeah, I always forget to do it. Please hit the subscribe and thumbs up while you're at it. If you guys are not subscribed, please do so. And then hit the thumbs up on the way out. Also, too, I kind of do these videos randomly. So if you would like to see the videos when I post it, just hit the bell, and then you'll be able to get those notifications whenever I post anything. Because I do post random videos. I don't have a set day when I come on. I just kind of just come on. especially for watch alongs. I usually do watch alongs. Like I said, I'll be at a bar tomorrow again, enjoying the playoffs with other Nick fans. You know what I'm saying? Which I love, man. So that's the only reason why that I'm not doing the watch alongs now. But I'll try to do some content tomorrow if I can. Maybe out in the street at the bar. Maybe I'll go to the side and I'll do some small content. Just to put something out and stuff, man. But yeah, man, hit the bell if you can. That way you guys know when I'm going on. One more time here for Mikey. Mikey says, bogey is non-guaranteed, only 2 million guaranteed. Oh man, so okay. See, like I said, all these little nuances here with the contracts. I don't want to go too deep into it, man, because I really love what we're doing, and I really believe in this club. Well, whoever's left, with Josh Hart and the Nova kids, they're playing so hard, man, that I just don't want to give up on the season already. I just love these guys. And I think even regardless of all these injuries that we've been having, I think we still can make it to the finals. It's amazing, and I really want to see if they're gonna do it. If they do that, man, how incredible would this year be? Right now, this year could end today, and we've done overcome so much and had such great times this year. And I've met so much different people out on the internet, from the internet, hanging out with these Knicks out in these bars and meeting other content creators. Man, this has been a spectacular year, man. So I know Mitchell Robinson is frustrated. He got him there on the screen there. Julius Randle's frustrated. Bogey's frustrated. Several players are frustrated on the Knicks, man. So you have to get in line. So there's no time to feel bad about Mitchell Robinson because we have a whole lot of more basketball to play, and we still got a good chance, man. So yeah, definitely. Oh, Faith Life Sports, man. Okay, I see you. So you broke it down to an acronym, man. So I definitely appreciate it. This is Faith Life Sports, man. Always a big time supporter of the pod, also, man. So yeah, man, I'm up out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for helping out with the chat. But Mitch Robinson's out, man. It sucks to see him out of here. This podcast is not about bashing him. It's about stating the obvious. Maybe this might be the last time that we saw Mitch Robinson here in a Nick uniform. It's something for us to really unpack when it's time. But this is just kind of like a prelude to what's soon to come, more than likely, man. The Knicks have to get better. I don't think it's trading 25, 10, and 5. Trading 25, 10, and 5. I don't think that's the guy we need to trade. I think we need to trade this guy right here. This guy here that's not available, whatever. And then when he is available, he's not even that dominant in what he does. He doesn't bring anything unique to the table and anything like that. He's not, and he's also not the enforcer that we need. We need to get an enforcer. And so, much love to the kid, man, because he's a good kid. That's one thing too. Let me say that Mitchell Robinson is a good dude, man. You can see that he's a sweet guy. He's a big fucking guy, but he's a country dude from Louisiana, sweet dude. You could tell that. You could tell that he's a sweet dude. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't like people talking badly about him and stuff like that. He's trying to get himself right with his family, trying to do what he does there. He likes cars, he likes country music, shit like that. He's a country kid, man. So, definitely with a big heart and stuff like that. So, I understand all of that, but we're talking about working a job. We're talking about sports, basketball, Knicks, and stuff like that. How can we win the championship and whatever? And that's all we need to keep it as, man. So anyway, without further ado, man, let me just say goodbye to you guys, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. It's your boy Diehard Evil. Like I do on the podcast, 4 fingers to the forehead, tucking a thumb and salute. And I catch you guys next time, man. Once again, I will be uptown tomorrow at the Morning Brew Sports event, with Phil, Phil and the guys there. I believe Hector should be there also. Everybody, from wherever is going to be there, hopefully there's a good turnout. The food I know is good there because I've hanged out there before. Parking is going to be very bad. It's Dykeman for Christ's sake. So Phil made a joke in one of our group chats saying that it's not going to be no different than Midtown Manhattan. But we're talking about Midtown Manhattan for Christ's sake. You know what I'm saying? So Midtown Manhattan parking is what it is. Washington Heights, Dykeman area up there with all the restaurants and whatever, and all the freaking people, the double and triple park out there, man. It's gonna be crazy with the parking. So hopefully if you guys drive up there and you do find a park, hopefully you don't get pinned in there with 3 or 4 cars behind you and shit. So anyway, let me get up out of here. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. I actually might do another pod in a few minutes. We'll see what happens, but I don't know about that. But we'll see. If not, like I said, hit that bell that way you'll be notified, and I'll catch you guys next time. Thank you guys for tuning in. And I guess we could do a short outro, huh? Do we need to do the Die Hard thing? Well, how about this? Let's play Jay Boogie's song just to show him love, man. So thank you guys for tuning in. Eru's out. Check out the music.
Jay Boogie, we facing a lot of doubters.
So Ebony, First Lady of KOT, what you saying?
It's us against the world.
New York City, where you at?
We outside.
My nigga fans, where you at?
Midtown.
I'm looking down cause we on top. They looking up, see, we on top.
On game nights, all I see is Nick Traffic. For the playoffs, I'm wearing a June jacket. The best fans anywhere, we stay rocking. This my 4-point play, my Larry Johnson. The true definition of getting snubbed is when the 2 seed ain't getting no love. We know the cats from college known as teammates. Now the lead podcast and we some roommates. It's for the league, whoever wanna collide. That new commercial that told you I'm the vibe. Shout out to Mr. Rose, the plan working from the ESPN with these bars. I'm Kendrick Perkins. Every game, the squad, we just go hard. Coach Tibb, Challenger, New Dodge. 5 boroughs of breath, the Nick plan. From the Bronx, Queens, Manhattan, Staten to Brooklyn.
New York City, where you at?
We outside.
My nigga fans, where you at?
Midtown.
I'm looking down cause we on top. They looking up, see, we on top.
No Diddy.
Yo, E, you crazy for that.